Hello, thank you for joining this video. Here we'll explore how to add the blog post section to your Shopify store. So to begin with, I'd like to go to one of our Gain theme demo stores. This is the lace theme style. You can also check it out from the Shopify store. Here we have the home page and we have all of the sections here. And at the bottom here we have 3 blog posts displayed. And now let's take a look at our theme customizer and try to recreate this section. So for this, we go back to our theme customizer here. We choose the page where we'd like to add these blog posts. Keep in mind that you can actually add it to any page of your store, but for our example, let's stay with the home page here. So now we go here to the add section button. Here it is. And now let's add our blog posts. Here is this section here. So by default, only 3 blogs can be added. So as you can see, we've added this section and now we have 3 blog posts in here. So now let's click on this section here and we need to select the blog. So as you can see, this section will display the last 3 posts of the selected blog. So if you have several blogs, you just need to choose one of these blogs here and the last 3 posts will be displayed in here. So let's choose this blog 1. Let's click on select, and as you can see, we have 3 of the latest blog posts displayed here. So next we can rename this label, this heading. So in our demo store, as you can see, we get the brand name and we have fashion news as the heading of this section. So for example, in the label, you can add your store name, and in the heading, let's just say latest blogs, for example, or latest blog posts. So let's leave it as it is. And we can also choose to link this button label. So as you can see, this button leads to the blog that we've chosen here. So you can change the text to, for example, read more. And we can also add the link area label, which is needed for a good accessibility for people who have hard time with reading, for example. Then they can choose for this button to be read to them. So if we get the read more here, let's now add a read more of our blog posts. For example, let's leave it as this. And we can also choose the button style for this button here. So for example, right now it's primary, and as you can see, we get the white background, black color letters and black border. But once we hover on this button, we get the black background, white color and black borders. We can change it to secondary, and now we'll have the black color background, white letters and black border, but on hover it will change to white background and black letters. Keep in mind that you can change these colors from your theme settings, colors, and go to the button primary and button secondary. However, keep in mind that any changes that you do here, they will apply to your store as a whole. So if you change the buttons here, the color of the button here, then the color will also be changed here and here. So just keep this information in mind. But from our sections, we can change the style from primary to secondary or vice versa. Next, we have the layout here. So we can choose to show the containers as full width. If unchecked, then the container width will be set based on the group layout settings in the theme settings. So we go back to the theme settings, to layout here, and we see that the container width is set to medium, 1680 pixels. So if in this section we leave this unchecked, then the container layout will be set to the one in the theme settings. And next we also have the desktop and mobile offsets. So offsets are this space in between the sections. So for example, if we remove it here from desktop offset top, then as you can see, we no longer have any space in between these sections here. And the same can be done to the bottom. As you can see, we have some space in here. We can, of course, remove it, as you can see, or just return it back here. And the same for your mobile version. And lastly, what we have here are the theme settings for our blog posts. So we can choose to show borders, these borders between our blog posts, or we can hide them. And now these containers will no longer have any borders between them. Let's just give some time for it to adjust. As you can see, we have no borders here, but if we return the borders, then we can change the border color. So we can change it to any color that we'd prefer. Next, we can choose to show blog post date. As you can see, we have this date here, but if we disable it, then we will not see the date when these blogs were posted. Next, we can hide or show the blog post author. So in our case, as you can see, UTD dev, web dev, these are the chosen authors, but we can hide this information from here. Let's just give the customizer some time to adjust to the changes. And as you can see, we no longer have any author mentioned in here. And we can also choose to show or hide the blog post tags. So when we create the blog posts, we can choose to tag them. We can add several tags, but in here only the first tag of the blog post is shown. So we can of course remove this tag and not show it for our blog posts overall. So keep in mind also that since these are the theme settings, then these changes apply to all of your blog posts, not only this section here, but for your blog page as well, for your blog post page. Just keep this information in mind. So next here, as you can see, we have the strip title to 3 lines. So in our examples, we have the blog posts that have less than 3 lines, but for those posts that do have more than 3 lines, we can actually click here to strip the title. So if your blog post has more than 3 lines, just click here and it will be shortened to 3 lines only. And the same thing here is for the content. So as you can see, the content is also stripped to 3 lines. We have this Learn More button, which we can click on and read more about the blog. But if you want to show the whole of the content, then we can just tick here to unstrip the content to 3 lines. And now let's just wait for the customizer to adjust to the changes. Okay, so now here, as you can see, we have the blog posts in full. Here is all of this information, and you can just return it for a slicker look back to the 3 lines only. So now let's just wait and let's save our changes. So next what we have in here is the show comments count. So if you enable for your store visitors to leave the comments for your blog posts, then you'll see the comments count. So when we enable the show comments count, give it just a second and we'll see the amount of comments in here, as you can see. However, if you disable the comments for your blog post, then there is no need to even show the comment count. So now let's just remove these. And as you can see, we no longer have the comments count. And the last thing in here, as you can see, we get the default article page. So for example, if you create the article, the blog posts, and if you don't add any like feature image there, then you can just simply choose the image from here, and then your article will be displayed with this default image in case you've created it without any image whatsoever. So this is where you can add the default article image. And this is it. These are all of the settings that we have for the blog post section. Don't forget to save your changes. And now let's take a look at this section from our store. So we need to go to the store here, then let's scroll down to that section, the blog posts section. Here, as you can see, we see this subheading, we see this heading, we see our 3 blog posts, we get the read more button, and as you can see, our content is stripped to 3 lines. And when we click on the blog post, we can go and read it in full here. And we can also see that we have the read more button here. Once we click on it, we go to this blog that we've connected before, from where we've taken these 3 articles. So this is it. These are all of the instructions on how to set up the blog posts section. Feel free to contact our team if you have any questions, and don't forget about our theme manual, where you can also find all of this information in here. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great day. Bye.